Climber still has to sweat. They still have to find the agonizingly small handholds. Their muscles will burn, they will slip, they will swing into the rock and scrape their knees.
But what the safety rope fundamentally removes is the primal fear of a fatal fall.
Yes. And because the dread of absolute death is removed, the climber's nervous system can actually drop out of the fight or flight clench. It can relax just enough to learn the actual technique of climbing.
Which is impossible if you're terrified.
Right. If you put that same novice on that wall without a rope, they aren't exploring. They aren't learning balance. They are panic gripping the rock in pure survival mode until their forearms give out and they fall.
A nervous system braced for catastrophe cannot learn, and it cannot heal. It can only defend. This is the core engine of effective recovery. The text distills this into a brilliant maxim. It says, "Protect what preserves dignity, but risk what develops character."
Protect what preserves dignity, risk what develops character. But how does that look in reality? Let's say your son is a gambling addict. What is the harness?
Setting the safety net at the correct height is the hardest part of facilitating recovery. The net must catch them before a fatal loss of life or dignity. In the case of a gambling addict, setting the net too low means you let him borrow from loan sharks, get his legs broken, go bankrupt, and end up freezing on the street.
Which you can't do.
No, that is a failure to protect dignity. You have removed the harness entirely.
But, and this is the crucial warning from the facilitation guide if you set the net too high, say you pay his rent every single time he blows his paycheck at the casino. You lie to his boss to cover his absences. You shield him from every single scraped knee and bruised ego.
If the net catches the scraped knee, it stops being a climbing harness and becomes a hammock.
A hammock.
And a hammock fundamentally prevents growth. By insulating him from the natural, painful consequences of his addiction, you are robbing him of the necessary friction required to develop character. The harness means you let him experience the intense discomfort of repo men taking his car or the shame of having to take the bus, but you don't let him starve to death. You bound the risk.
So what does this all mean? We've traveled an immense distance today, from the grammar glitches of a fracturing ego to